Hello guys, it's me again, back with another tutorial. In this tutorial I will be answering one of the most asked questions I have, which is how to jump on blocks or collide with walls. This is a very hard subject. You could do it all mathematically with blocks and stuff, but that takes a lot of time and effort. So I'm going to try to do the easiest way I can that'll actually pretty much work with everything. So I'm making a model here which we're going to load into GameMaker and then use a collision DLL to collide with it. This way you can bring in any model you want and have an instant level, so it'd be very easy for you. I'm just making this with AC3D. You can use pretty much any model program you want, then you're going to have to convert it into D3D. So anyway, here we go. I need the P3DC DLL, which is the collision DLL level model, and these textures I found off of Google, and that is all that we have extra in this game. So now let's start adding it. First we need the object, of course. That'll just draw the level. It will not be the collision model. It'll just draw it. Okay, so to zoom that in, and now level the variable that is going to equal the model that we load in. So first we have to have a D3D model create, and now D3D model load. So we make sure that it's set to that variable, and then we ask for the file. So now we've loaded in the model. We also want to load in the background. You don't have to load in the background externally. You can put it inside of GameMaker, but when you do that, then the game loads slightly slower. So if you have a whole bunch of big backgrounds in your game, it will go slower. So I like to do all that externally, but that's just me. You can put it inside if you want. So anyway, now we're just gonna draw it. This will not be the collision model, just letting you guys know. So I'm just drawing it here. Now I'm gonna draw it on 0 because inside of the DLL it's easiest if the model is on 0. Just because then I don't have to move it around, because that automatically makes it calculate everything a little bit harder. So anyway, I just imported the scripts from the example P3DC DLL. I'm going to give you guys a link in the description to the P3DC DLL examples in the description. They're on the GM3D forums, and they're pretty sweet. So anyway, here I'm just creating my own scripts. This will check the distance between me and whatever direction I choose. So I mean, he already has it, but I'm simplifying it here to my own liking here. Just because his is pretty sweet, but he has to put in a lot of variables, and I really don't want to have to put in all this code every time I want to collide or like check the distance or whatever. So I'm creating the script so that it'll calculate this every time. So I just check the distance. Now I'm going to return the distance, and then we're good. So anyway, in object player here we have to init the DLL, start the DLL, load it into the game, otherwise it won't work. So there we go. Just have to load it in, and we're good. Now I have to also create the level object. I could just stick it in the room, but this works better because then I'm sure that of its depth, which is nice. So anyway, level collide equals, this is the collision model. Okay, we're gonna load it in very similar to the actual model that we view, except for it's loading into the DLL instead of just GameMaker as a viewable model. So there we go, a little bit more. Now we do the collision scripts, which are slightly more complicated. So anyway, you can see here we're using our point dis here. So this will, what it'll do is it'll check how far below I am. So how far is the ground underneath me is the idea for this. I want to be 50 pixels above, so when you see me going, if dis is smaller than 55, that means that I'm on the ground. And if it's smaller than 50, then I just hit the ground. Okay, so then anyway, I'm now checking. I'm gonna wanna, once I'm below 50, that means I've just landed on it, I want to go back up to 50. Otherwise I would be lower than my mark, and then I'd have problems. You could try that, but it'll be weird. So anyway, if I'm above 55, that means that I'm above the ground. then ZSP, which will be my Z speed, kind of like gravity. That'll pull me back down. So here also I'm calculating in the Z speed to make me fall, which is important. I also added the jump there so that I would jump, because that's also what you guys asked me about. Anyway, here I can get rid of the floor and roof that we added in the last tutorial, and also I want to add myself to start out on the 0 axis, because that's where the model middle will be, because that's fastest calculating in the DLL. Also, the bullet has to be created at my Z. If it's not, then, well, I had it at 50 before, but now since my Z can change, I need it to change with me. So anyway, now that I've already checked if I'm on top of a floor, now I need to collide with the wall. So I'm just setting if point direction, point dis, then direction. It's very simple now. Also, to go behind me, I just have to plus 180 onto the direction. So here we go, the final thing here. It's working all perfectly. I can hit the wall, and that works fine. So anyway, hope you liked this tutorial. I am not going to upload the entire game file just yet, not until it's done, which will probably be not in another few tutorials from now. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Goodbye.